am. Okay, so, hi. Here we are again. Let's hope that this doesn't take too long because I have to leave in a bit less than an hour. But knowing how much I talk and won't shut up, this is gonna be a challenge for me. That's all I'm saying. Hello and welcome back to my desk. Today we are going through my first ever sketchbook that I finished. I really wish I could see what is going on my phone screen that is filming the sketchbook, but I can't. So this is the first ever sketchbook that I finished. I went into it with the intention of finishing it. I have properly marked it as sketchbook number 1. On the outside there are stickers. Before I was Lonely Girl Studio, I was LXTD. I started the sketchbook on the 28th of April 2017 and finished it on the 29th of April 2018. So it took me an entire exact year to finish this sketchbook. First page, I have just glued a drawing of Bam Bam from GOT7 into this. Fair warning, if you are just, oh wait, here we go, in frame, that's good. If you're just a huge hater of fan art, we're gonna have an interesting time. So this is a drawing that I did of Bam Bam from GOT7, but I did it before I started the sketchbook, so I just decided to glue it in here. I got some new ink pens and I went ham on them. These are some frames that I was doing. This is planning for one of my exam films when I was in high school. Even more planning for my exam film. This one is fan art for some fandom that I don't remember. I just remember drawing it for one of my friends. I have no recollection of this. Here we have a post-it note that I glued over a drawing that I hated. I don't know what's happening over here. She's got some impressive eyebrows. I guess I just wanted to test pens. So there's ink pens and there's some silver pens. There's some like water-based pens. There's a tiny thumbnail for a fan art drawing I wanted to do for a K-drama that I didn't even like. It is my least favorite K-drama that I've ever watched, but for some reason I felt the need to like plan a fan art for it. Glad I didn't do that. There is a vague outline of some other drawing behind this, but I hated the drawing, so I glued some post-it notes and then I just did some fashion illustration, airport fashion, and you're gonna see quite a bit of like fashion illustration. It is something I still to this day love drawing. I just love drawing fashion. Here's more GOT7 fan art. I to this day, like sometimes I just remember this drawing because I remember the feeling I got from drawing this and I was like, God damn it girl, you knocked that one out of the park. I don't know why, but I was just so pleased with this specific one. This one doesn't matter. This one, I felt like the motherfucking shit. It looks empty, it's not. This was also a spread. I got to a solid 2 faces, slightly sketched, and a motel sign, and then a circle. I was very ambitious and I was like, I can do like a sketchbook spread fan art. No, you can't. Halsey, Heaven in Hiding is one of my favorite songs of the Hopeless Fountain Kingdom. Here I was planning on doing a fashion illustration and then I didn't. And instead I practiced a tiny bit Korean and then swatched like some alcohol-based markers. Here it has bled on to the other side. Beautiful, we love that. I have a tendency to get a bit ambitious. I get kind of in a state where I suddenly have a million ideas and I decide that I'm going to do them all, and then I start sketching and then I never finish them because I run out of steam. I wanted to make like BTS faces. I did Jungkook and that was it. But, oh, someone's driving by. Here is more fashion illustration. I also, this is like water-based marker, which is why it's so streaky. And then this is acrylic paint. Don't know what's happening here. I used to do this thing where I made like circles on the ears and the cheeks. I don't hate it, to be honest, but I don't love it either. I'm feeling very indifferent right now. More fashion illustration and more water-based marker. This is a portrait. He looks looks kind of like a China doll because I've never been very good with proportions. It reminds me a bit of Happy D Artist's art because alien baby doll face like, you know? one singular portrait. We didn't even bother. I think I just started giving up on doing both sides of the sketchbook, I guess. Here is when I was planning for my rebrand to Lonely Girl Studio. I ended up going with this logo. I have a version of this. It's cute, but it's kind of unrecognizable. This is acrylic paint. I love stuff like this. I love limited color palettes, and I should do more of it. Note to self, Annette, do more limited color palettes. Okay. This is based on Jennie from Blackpink. Doesn't look like her a single bit. So if I were to just not tell you that, you would have been like, oh, that's a girl. But now that I've told you it's based off Jennie from Blackpink, you're like, it doesn't look like her at all. So I shot myself in the foot with that one. And then there is a quote that I took from Pinterest because I wanted to just fill up both the pages because I felt bad. Here, I guess I was this concept sketching. This is kind of cute, actually. Should draw something like that. Annette, take a new note. Draw something like that. Okay. Once again, got ambitious, didn't finish it. I mean, it's a limited color palette. I want to do this. I don't. Annette, make a third note. Do something like this. Okay. This is inspired by the Pantone little swatches. And it's cute. Like, I like the idea. I just need to do it. See, what I have a strong suspicion of here is that when I turn the page, I can remotely see that there's a drawing behind all of this paint that I didn't like. So I just painted it with acrylic paint and then went in and drew a girl over it because I didn't like what was behind. Let's see. There we go. You can see slight swatches from a Copic marker. This is when I started doing grid drawing. As you can tell from the first portrait that I did, wasn't really my thing. So I drew the grid on the page and then I started practicing proportions. It looks like a human being. More grid and more proportion stuff. I really love people who can draw just great drawings with just the pencil. I'm just not one of them, but I want to be, so I guess I kept practicing. I mean, I did more practicing back then than I do now. Now I just stick to my comfort zone. This is just a drawing of two houses. Here I have even left myself a note saying the shadows were a bad idea. And yeah, they were. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I hate it. Also, I'd like to say, when I'm roasting my own art, it is because it is mine. If your art looks like this, like fucking, if you like it, good for you. Like that, honestly, knock yourself out. I don't like this because this is not what I want to draw. Obviously, I started with the head and then I was too lazy when I realized that there wasn't enough space. And I just went, well, I'll just bend her a bit. Could you get any more lazy than this? I mean, sure, this is very simple, but like, I'll give myself props for even drawing. It took me a year to fill the sketchbook, so good job, Annette. This one's cute. They tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. I like the way Fran Meneses draws her trees, so I basically like got inspired by that, and then I put a little quote in the middle. Oh, this is when I started doing like my 3-frame thing. This is when J-Hope released Daydream, and I basically did limited color palette and 3 frames, and I like it. I think it's cute. I really like the way I started doing this stuff. These are called positive pastels, and it is something that I sell on like my old Redbubble, but I want to make like new versions of them. This is what I am assuming to be a pill, separated. It has a rainbow and a sad attempt at smoke. This is a fan art spread of one of my best friends. She plays the accordion. She loves socks. I don't know if she still eats as many bananas as she used to, but she used to be an absolute insanity person when it came to bananas. This is her. Her hair isn't that long anymore. And then there's a plant because it matched in with the rest of the green, I guess. Another 3-frame from another music video, I'm assuming. Another 3-frame. I'm not going to turn this around because I know that I'm going to struggle to get it back. Editing it, figure it out, like do some bizzazzing, like turn it around or some shit. I don't know. R.I.P. Rap Monster. That was a time. These are 3 frames from K-dramas. Missing 9, Uncontrollably Fond, and Goblin. More just simple, limited pastel palette and fan art. Pastel and fan art. And then there's beds. Sometimes I just realize that I can't draw certain things. And then I guess on the 16th of March, I was just like, I can't draw birds. This yellow is obnoxiously yellow, and I am convinced it's not Dodie yellow. At this point, I didn't own that many alcohol-based markers, so that's, you know, that is a great way to keep your palette consistent, is just to not own that many colors. Penguins. I guess I realized I can't draw penguins either. More limited color palette and fan art. We love pink in this household. We love pink. As you can tell, we love pink. I remember posting this and people being excited because they're like, oh, BTS fan art. And I'm like, no, that's no. I drew a recognizable face, but I drew the wrong one. This is not supposed to be Jungkook. This is supposed to be Mark from GOT7, not Jungkook from BTS. I don't know who made the mistake, if it's me or if it's the people looking at the drawing. See, this looks a little scary with the eyes, honestly. There's just so much GOT7 in this book, and I'm not going to apologize for it, though I do feel a little bad. I don't know why I drew so goddamn tiny though. Like, it is, like, I could have made this a lot bigger and filled up a lot more of the page. I just, for some reason, didn't. There was an attempt, but the execution wasn't all there. See, here is the one time I actually had a concept and then I finished it. This is BTS. Does anyone remember like the BTS village thing? I drew out all of them and I was so proud of myself, and then I decided, you know, I'm gonna make these into stickers or something. I'm gonna finish these, like I'm gonna scan them and then I'm gonna finish them on my laptop, and I never did. But at least I finished the sketches. I'm so proud of myself for even getting to that point. See, I ventured into watercolor for this, and then I promptly stepped back from watercolor after this. I realized after this, I'm like, ooh, watercolors, not my thing. I'm really bad at it. I wish I wasn't, but I am. This is a drawing of Snitchery. She always matches her wigs to her backgrounds, so I guess I decided to do the same with the drawing. I'm putting my paw down. This is cute. There is something missing from the drawing, but it is a cute idea. Elvis, you want a cookie? If you listen to the podcast, My Favorite Murder, you know this.
Elvis, you want a cookie?
This is Lisa from Blackpink. Don't look too close on the face, because the longer you look, the more cursed the drawing becomes. This is a Meet the Artist. I no longer live in Drammen, but I am still an INFJ. I automatically just feel better about a drawing if there is anything else filling up the page, because if it would have been just this, I would have been like, why is there so much empty space? Why isn't there anything else here? Oh, this is fun. This is ballpoint pen. Annette, make a fourth note, draw more with ballpoint pen. Okay, I think I slightly sketched out like where I wanted their heads to be, but I don't think I went in to like render anything. And I'm so fucking proud of myself, because these actually look legit. Like, they look like actual faces. I used to have orange hair, and I am still a lover of soft blankets, and I just want to be cozy and warm all the time. I am once again making a prediction that I didn't like what was behind this, and then I just glued something. Oh, okay. If you don't know anything about art or art materials, these are alcohol-based markers, and they bleed to the other side of the page. You can basically see it through. So I drew on this side, and then I just glued something on the top here. This, however, I really, really like. This is closer to what I do now in my sketchbook, which is 2-page spreads that are somehow not connected, cohesive, there we go. And then, once again, a cursed drawing, cursed face. I am slowly but surely like moving into more of a like creative field, because like in the beginning it was solely fan art and like stuff like that, but here we go. This is original. Irene from Red Velvet. I drew some questionable leaves just haphazardly placed around the page. I don't know why. At least we are trying to fill the page a bit more, so I'll give myself props for that. Oh, once again, another ballpoint pen drawing, which looks great. Like, I like the way the face looks. Good job, Annette. Do more of it. Oh, my baby. My little baby boy. This is my cat, Johansson. Annette, you did great on this. This is an adorable drawing. This is good. If I remember correctly, I was heavily inspired by another illustration or another like graphic design, so I'm going to place that here if I can find it. Here we have Kim Daly, this little selfies with palette, with a pastel palette. We love pastels. Once again, going back to like liking the graphic kind of thing. The face is messed up, but if you just cover that with like Annette cover that with like some emoji, this looks pretty good. Here I was drawing hands. I'm really bad at anatomy, and hands are hands are the bane of all artists' existence. Basically, we are nearing the end of the sketchbook. Fan art, but more creative. Like we love that. For me, we love taking something you're a fan of and then just having fun with it. And then this is the last page, and that is also fun fact. I did an art challenge in 2018 during April called Artpril. This was the last drawing I did for that challenge as well. So it was like a wholesome ending to the entire thing of just like, I finished the art challenge and I also finished my sketchbook finally. And then this is just me swatching my alcohol-based markers. It's kind of cute looking at this with like, these are like the alcohol-based markers I had back then. And now I have like several jars of them and it is becoming a problem. And that was my first ever finished sketchbook. Thank you for watching this. I did actually manage to do this within the time frame and I am not going to be late for my meeting. If you want to follow my art Instagram, you can do that. It is at Lonely Girl Studios. And if you want to follow my normal Instagram, you can do that. That is at Annette_Logster. I am going to go now because I need to brush my teeth and walk and have a meeting and be a professional person. Bye!